And I just remembered I don't have my my tuber up. Oh, great.
Oh no.
I'll get that up.
Fantastic.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bad Fanfiction Night. Give me a moment to get Kelpie on screen. I am running on a weird mixture of. It should be too much sleep, but it doesn't feel like it. Because of medication stuff. So yeah, I've been weird all day and not a fun way. But yes, hello everyone, welcome back to Bad Fanfiction Night. I am your host, Remy McNeil. Joining me as always is the wonderful Twilight Guardian.
Hello.
Today we are continuing our dive into RWBY Project Alpha, going to be covering the first half of Chapter 6, which will then finish next week. It's going to take about an hour and a half to get through, so everyone get nice and cozy in preparation for that.
God.
But also, I'm going to throw it into the chat, which I also forgot to pop out because I am totally on top of everything today, because that is what happens. I'm going to be putting in chat for everyone to access a straw poll to vote on what we are going to be reading next after we decide to put this fic down for a little while. So everyone, vote on those, and we'll look at that at the end of the stream.
I need to vote.
Are you ever going to do a good fanfiction night? No.
We already did.
Well, we did for April Fool's like a year or two ago, but
yeah.
It honestly, it doesn't work out because, like, a good book is not really something you can read together. It's reading is a solitary activity, typically speaking. There are some books that can be read together, but more often than not, you're going to want to be reading things alone, and good stuff very much differs on the person. So,
yeah, well, like we can probably do like a book analysis on what makes good writing in a book and what doesn't and all of that. But that's more something for like a Jack stream rather than Bad Fanfiction Night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, also everyone go support Moopa's webtoon. It's really fun. I'll put that in the chat for you guys as well. And yes, do I want to risk covering Proto 50 Shades?
I mean, it's on the list, so yeah.
Yes.
You wrote the list.
Is there a way to prioritize my votes? Some of my choices I would rank over the others in terms. No, you just throw them all in a blender. You only get 5 you get 5 votes on the sheet, and basically it's just whoever ends up on top, as is the most cases with bad fan fiction.
I see Kingdom Hearts fics in there, and I'm praying that one doesn't get voted on so I can still attend Bad Fanfiction Night.
I mean, it depends when they were made. They could have been made pre-Kingdom Hearts, 2?
You're going just finished 2.
You're also then going into 358 over 2 days, so it could be before that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, did you manage to get the thing up and working for yourself?
No, because my computer is a bitch and we're having issues. We're going to counseling right now. It's time.
Oh dear.
All right, that's a first. Taking your computer to counseling.
I mean, counseling is a screwdriver and me opening up the box, but you know.
I was gonna say, like, the issue that I mostly ran into was like controller issues, but other than that, it was pretty straightforward.
In short, I recently changed my SSD and CPU, and it was a very trying day of installing that. So a whole host of issues could have happened there.
When you said that, when you said you were taking your computer counseling, I instantly thought of that SpongeBob episode where Plankton just built a new Karen.
Well, we haven't gotten to that stage yet, but we're close.
Ah, yes, the dream of every man: just build a new spouse.
This is Tammy 1. We'll see if we get to Tammy 2.
So that sounds like
the ultimate incel when you just build.
Yeah, you know what? It's Chief Mycan behavior.
Here's the thing: is this started as a bit, but now I'm not coming out very great in this story.
I might point out, literally building one's own wife is an actual Greek myth.
I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of that. There's some stereotypes I'm jumping into here.
Stereotypes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we all wonder where you came from and why sometimes you sound a little robotic. Well, it's like Greek heritage, man. Okay,
I'm sorry. We're supposed to be focusing on a bad fanfic, all right?
Oh yeah,
But do we really?
Okay, here you are calling your life a good fanfic. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. You presume.
Look, I've dug my hole. Okay, there's a hill I'm choosing to die on right now, and I'm trying to be as comfortable as I can. Okay.
You know what? Okay, comment question of the day. All right, would you rather be a great fanfic, which is an amazing top-tier story, but will never be appreciated because you are, in fact, fan fiction, and that by that tag alone, you will be always disregarded? Or would you rather be a really shitty fanfic that will always be remembered and always be loved for just how awful you were? Answer in the comments in the chat below. No one in this actual chat answer, because we got to get to reading.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, hatred is its own form of notoriety.
Last time we left off on RWBY Project Alpha, we had a nothing chapter where Emerald just got the Spring Maiden powers. Remind you, this was written before, at least presumptively, we knew that it was Raven. So it was just some random chuckle fuck. And what's hilarious is author's note. And now let's cover Volume 5 with the addition of my OCs, which is going to be, you have some things to change now.
That feels like a threat.
Should have fixed
right.
that tiny continuity error.
When I originally wrote this chapter, after V5 ended, I hadn't figured out how Serena would fit into the group, so I was just experimenting. I know it's obvious, but it also seems organic, since none of the characters know how she fits into the groups at this point, so I just left it as is. What?
I have several questions, but they're best not asked.
Nothing. Let's move. Too many questions, no answers.
And I consulted the transcripts for each episode for this fic. Also, trigger warning at the bottom just in case, which we all know the trigger warning means nothing in this fic because there's nothing. The last trigger warning that actually mattered was like for fat men falling and spiders.
There's gonna be one chapter we read where it actually does mean anything, and we're gonna get flashbanged hard by it.
I will look forward to that day.
I'm gonna be honest,
honestly,
it'll be fun.
We've already been flashbanged by everything else. So, I mean, at this point, give me something controversial. Go ahead.
I will say, just from this author's hack fraud prose, I would say they are incapable of actually providing trauma.
I still can't get over trigger warning that I had for a complaint about a roleplay character that I was dealing with on Tumblr, whose eyes were red, not because he was albino, but because his eyes got stained with blood when he was born, and the trigger warning tags were blood and birth.
What? Wait, you cut up for a second. What?
Yes.
What?
Blood and birth, which, are far more interesting than the trigger warnings that you got from the tag, Zero.
Yep.
Wow.
Twice shared those with me, and it's hilarious. Like, it's like, oh man, this is the scariest shit I've ever seen. And you just like slide over Freddy Fazbear, and I'm just like, what?
Hey man, it should be like that.
I should look up. I try and find. There are some fics that I've scrolled past where I'm like, oh god, I am never forgetting that in my life. But I don't know. I'd probably get arrested sharing even a snapshot of some of those. So I mean, not gonna do that.
Wow,
boy, where the hell have you been?
AO3, man, it's a wild place.
That's why I don't go there.
It's the Wild Waste.
What's
All
that
right,
shadowy place?
Everyone, sit back, relax. Please remember the rules. I and Twy are priority speakers, and I would very much appreciate it if you guys would just keep that in mind very much. Because, again, I am not the best head right now. Very foggy, much blah, and so I'd rather not have to keep on top of everyone. So if everyone could just, I love your comments and jibes, but let's keep things rolling.
Don't worry. I'll rein you all in, even if I have to whip you into shape.
Okay, you see, this is what we call the carrot and the stick. I'm being very nice. She's carrying a very big stick.
Bad time.
Teddy Roosevelt would be proud.
Damn.
All right, here we go. Let's find out how these characters fit in, because I don't exactly know what he meant up here. Team Ranger, Crow, and Sirena were walking through a stone brick tunnel leading to the city of Mistral, which is illuminated by lanterns on the wall. Ruby still felt bad about not being able to use her silver eyes against the Nucleavi, causing Ren and Nora's auras to break and almost get them hurt. But she didn't know about them yet.
Ruby, you can I guess like survivor's guilt or whatever, but also like
No
Ruby,
one died!
Yeah.
Survivor's guilt for a situation where no one got hurt.
I mean,
She built an underground lake.
Never mind. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Dying.
Whose idea was to walk again? Nora asked. With all you have endured, you should not complain about having to walk a little, Sirena said. At least this time, none of us almost died. What do you mean by that? Ruby asked, giving Sirena a confused look. I may explain it at a later time. It's a good question for a later time, Sirena answered and said, For now, however, enjoy the view. She and Crow slightly increased their pace and opened a large double door that wasn't there in the original, leading out into a platform overlooking most of the city. Ruby rushed to the edge and took in the scenery. Wow! It's a matte painting! Ruby exclaimed. Sorry. This is awesome, she said, spotted a kiosk, and added, Look at all those weapons! Several miles away from here! John, Ren, and Nora followed her. Below them, they saw all kinds of people going about their business, selling and buying goods from various vendors and market stalls. Vendors here will sell you just about anything, Crow explained, whether they should or not. They really made the most out of these cliffs, John noticed. Every inch, Crow said. Excuse me?
So I joined, and the first thing that I heard was every inch.
Every inch.
I'm gonna be real, Chief. That's like the tame part of this.
Fair
There was some
enough.
stuff earlier.
Fair enough.
That's the peak of the mountain.
You should steer clear of the lower levels for now, though, Sirena warned. The people become less friendly the further down you go.
Serena hates the poor.
No, the poor hate everyone else.
Okay, stop. Zero, did you say giggity?
Dude, I'm multitasking right now.
Fair enough.
I can't be held responsible.
He's
for my
watching the
actions.
stream one-handed out here, folks.
I'm playing Jack and Daxter, sir. All right.
Look, if you're good, you can play that with one
don't
hand.
tell us these things on stream in public. Jesus.
Don't bring Jesus
been a
into
day
this.
for
He ain't
me.
got shit to do with this.
Yeah, I took my cross off earlier. Okay.
Whatever.
Oh my
He's
God.
leaving a bad fanfic review.
Good thing we're going up, Nora said, pointing upwards. The platform which doubled as an elevator... Oh, it's not her speaking. The platform which doubled as an elevator started moving, and the doors closed. Sirena walked over to the edge of the elevator. I will meet up with you later, Sirena said before jumping into one of the waterfalls coming into the cliffs. Oh, it's video game logic. There's something behind the waterfall. Got it.
No, she's swimming up it like a salmon.
Yeah, she just becomes
Minecraft
salmon
logic. You can
mid-jump.
swim up falling water.
You get it? You get it? It's fish.
What the? Why? Ruby asked. Crow sighed. Apparently, her people are very susceptible to motion sickness, he explained. She can barely even sit in a car for long. They live.
Not to.
They live in the ocean.
Oh no!
They have underwater cars.
Do you understand? The ocean is one of the most turbulent places on the fucking planet. It is constantly, especially at lower depths, it is constantly moving and shifting. Currents are massive.
They're
If
just underwater
anything-
turbulence.
If anything, she should have the opposite of motion sickness, because people who live on the water, they get used to it so much that when they get onto solid ground, they start getting sick from the lack of
That's
movement.
what they call sea legs. It's like if you step off a boat after being on it for a long time, you will be disoriented because you
That's why
haven't
Jack
gotten your
Sparrow
land
walks
legs.
really weird.
Well, that he's drunk.
He has sea toes, okay?
Well, actually, I was going to say, Jack Sparrow is drunk, he has sea legs, and he has dehydration. So...
Yes.
He's also...
That's a little
The triple threat.
triple threat.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Wait, is she swimming up the waterfall? Nora asked, looking at Sirena.
Oh, she's side on.
Yeah, she's side on. Looks like it, Ren said. They continued their way up to the top, looking around and occasionally checking in on Sirena, who was sometimes just hovering in place next to them in the waterfall.
I just imagine her T-posing.
Hovering water, do you?
Team Ranger, Crow, and Sirena entered the campus grounds of Haven Academy, with Sirena taking the lead. Crow walked behind her, and the students were last. Sirena was swiping around on her scroll, looking at her contacts, then put her scroll away. Ruby stopped and wiped a tear off her cheek, and John put his hand on her shoulder. We made it, Ruby said. And we appear to be the first as well, Sirena said. None of my teammates are nearby yet. Yeah, doesn't one of them kind of fucking hate your guts?
I mean,
details.
Also, since when does distance matter to any of them?
Yeah, they'll be here in like 5 minutes. Give it a moment.
Give or take.
They entered the hallway, and after some time, Ruby increased her pace to catch up to Sirena, who nervously looked around as if she was looking for something. What are you thinking about? Ruby asked. Noon is here, Sirena answered. Maybe school isn't in session? Ruby suggested. That's not it, Sirena said. Remember, the relics are supposed to be constantly protected? Even if school was not in session, there would be teachers to guard the place. Suddenly, Crow ran up to the door in front of them and drew his weapon. Ruby, John, Ren, and Nora stopped and drew their weapons as well, while Sirena remained calm, because she's just so cool. The door opened, and the group saw Professor...
on screen.
What?
I thought you said noon as in like the time of day. No, that's no one is here.
Yeah, no, but I pronounced it as it was
spelling
spelled.
no one as noon.
It's not one word, guys. It's 2 words.
Yeah.
It's 2 words.
The door opened.
I thought you were going like, it's high noon.
The door opened, and the group saw Professor Lionheart, who fell over backwards in surprise. Sirena extended her right hand, and a chain made of ice shot forward and caught the man, and Sirena pulled him back onto his feet. She then tossed the chain aside. Just have it melt. It's an ice chain. In fact, don't even do that. Why the fuck are we interrupting the gags? I know they ain't fucking great, but you're not doing anything by removing them.
You're adding more moving parts to it. You're making it worse.
You're removing all of the characters' observational skills, because now all of them are going to her instead of the other characters, where it was relatively evenly divided about them making observations.
This is just like a Sith Resurgence, when all the good things come from Aliana instead of where they normally came from the original movies.
Exactly. It is the exact same syndrome, which is making me interested. What's going to happen when all of the OCs are in the same place at the same time?
It implodes.
It's going to be the OC show.
Critical mass.
I think your computer's gonna break.
Either that or, I don't know, Sirena's the only one noticing things.
Yeah, I was going to say, they might prioritize one above the others. We'll have to see. Professor Lionheart? Ruby asked, and everyone put their weapons away again. Yes, hello, Leonardo said. You must be the students Crow mentioned. And Sirena, I see you've returned as well. He nervously fixed his necktie, and then the students introduced themselves. Leonardo Lionheart at your service, Haven's headmaster said. All right, Leo. Why weren't you waiting for us at the entrance, and where is everybody? Crow asked, and Leonardo checked his pocket watch. Right, apologies, Leonardo said. I guess time slipped away from me. He walked back into his office and gestured to the others to follow him. You're joking, Crow groaned. Where is everybody? Nora asked, and Leonardo sat down in his chair. I'm afraid most of my staff is away until classes resume, he said. To summarize, Sirena said, you left a relic unguarded, failed to meet at a previously agreed upon time and location, and failed to notify Ozpin should you notice anything suspicious. Am I forgetting anything? She gave him a scolding, somewhat knowing look. Leonardo looked at the children, then back at the huntress, glaring at him. Oh, yeah, it's not like I'm a spy or anything. I never said that. Yes, you did. You implied it.
Was that legit or was that just Celtic riffing? I can't tell anymore.
No, that was Celtic just saying what he wants.
But no, legitimately, she's figuring out he's a spy. I can taste it.
Yeah.
It tastes like maple syrup.
That's why I wasn't sure.
Place your bets. Within the next 2 paragraphs, is she's going to out Leonardo as a spy.
Probably.
Yeah, we take bets so often now. We have actually a dedicated spot in Vegas.
Bets used to mean something.
They call people who spy.
That is about all. Yes, Leonardo said. But the children. Is it about the relic? Sirena asked and said. Crow already filled them in on the basics, but now I have some information I think you would find useful. She put her scroll on the computer and pressed a few buttons, and a map of remnants appeared above it. 5 locations were marked on it. What is that? Leonardo asked. That's where I suspect Salem to hide, Sirena answered and said. Thanks to my spy, I was able to narrow down possible locations of Salem's base of operations. In 5 years, I will send large groups of my strongest soldiers to fight these 5 locations in order to conquer her headquarters and put an end to her tyranny once and for all.
Why
Sirena, you can't handle your strongest soldiers. You don't understand, Leonardo. Why? I was in my strongest soldiers. It's like, no, Sirena, you can't handle your strongest soldiers. Okay.
Also, why 5 years?
That's a good question.
Because
why
she's
5
gotta
years?
wait for the rest of the series
5,
to come
10,
out.
15, 20.
Also, we've never gotten confirmation whether or not they know where Salem is located, because honestly, what good does it do them to know? Like,
honestly, yeah.
It's like
probably to ambush.
I wonder where is Evil McEvilton's base of operation? Maybe it's on the sinisterly designed continent on the other end of the world. Nah, too easy.
Maybe it's in the palace of evil spires and twisted togas.
Also, is her spy just Talia making crank calls every now and then?
Yes.
Probably.
I thought the spy was Niob, who apparently can infiltrate and eavesdrop in Salem's
fuck,
castle.
yeah, you're right. It's not.
Right!
You're...
At the end of the message.
Oh,
I forgot that was like a useful piece of information that completely undercut the villains again.
It's like a singular gag at the end of a chapter, and it's like, here's this useful piece of information delivered as a
the
joke.
Perfect example of how a joke, no matter how funny, and for the record, that one wasn't very funny, but a joke can completely undermine the actual serious stakes of a story.
If you're going to make that sort of joke, you have to follow through with it. If you don't, then you're just a hack.
Featuring Sirena from RWBY Project Alpha series. That is amazing. That's incredible, Leonardo said and asked. Is there any way I can help you? If there was, I'd let you know, Sirena answered. Before or after he helps you? Crow asked. As soon as him knowing of his involvement can't hinder my plans anymore, Sirena answered. What? As soon as him knowing of his involvement can't hinder... So him just being aware would... Okay, I guess.
That doesn't make sense. What the
fuck? Remember that bet that you said in the next couple chapters she outs him? She already knows.
Yeah, she almost certainly knows, but we'll just keep going. Can we do anything to help? RWBY asked. Just keep doing what you're already doing, Sirena answered. You'll be fine. Sirena,
Absolutely nothing?
the only thing they were doing was going to Mistral. They cannot continue going to Mistral if they are at Mistral.
They can go to Mistral harder, Celtic. Come on.
We're going to drive, a couple of miles outside of the city limits every single day and just walk back in.
Celtic, it's obvious.
Morning exercise.
She meant kept getting outshined by me and my team.
Yeah.
True.
No, they travel around the world and then come right back.
I mean, they've done jack shit this whole fic, aside from Weiss, so,
Yeah, and Yang. Yang did something.
That Weiss's jack shit that she did was literally just contrived so they could show off her being a mass destruction machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, I'm going to give you infinite time to learn a brand new ability, and then it's going to just kill an entire army and not to seem overpowered at all. No way, no how. Oh.
What kind of voice is that?
It reminded me of Stitch.
Yeah, okay, that's Stitch.
Is anyone else thinking Stitch?
Yes, I was. Same brain
Hana
waves.
means family. Okay.
Very good.
Why didn't you tell us about it sooner? Crow asked. The entire place is crawling with Grimm, Sirena answered. The Sorakian Guard is the only army capable of invading the area and living to tell the tale. I have to prepare my troops for such major assault, but now we have to get going. She let Leonardo copy the files from her scroll and put it away. After putting her scroll away, she urged the others to leave Leonardo's office, and they bid all farewells.
If it takes you 5 years...
What?
Raymond, I can't understand a word you're saying.
Kind of the point.
I don't think there's much lost. I don't think.
Also, I'm just going to say, if it takes you 5 years to prepare for a major offensive, you have the worst command staff ever.
I mean, it depends on the offensive, because, D-Day took quite a while, but that was months, comparatively. Years.
My point.
Anyway. I should tell him about the Spring Maiden, Crow said after the doors closed behind them. No, you shouldn't, Sirena said. Why not? Crow asked. He couldn't help us, Sirena answered and said. Anyway, I have to do something. I'll meet up with you later. She walked down another corridor and disappeared behind another corner.
What?
How are you walking down?
And my brain erased everything in between.
I'm just imagining you're like outside a building and just walking down. But I don't fucking.
What is this mental geography? I don't know.
I'm sorry. The stupidity fanfic really shot my Discord up the rear end, so I legitimately disconnected and reconnected.
Yeah, that do how be it oh. Okay. Again, remember, I just reminded myself on where we swap out. Because we're not there yet, but we're probably getting a little bit close. Weiss was sitting on a summoned griffin, her sword drawn, and was ready for the fight. 3 gunships from the Legion military headed towards her, and one opened fire with its chin-mounted Gatling gun. Using a time dilation glyph, she increased her reaction. She increased her reaction time and caught each bullet with a gravity dust glyph. She hurled them back at the gunship, taking it down. The other 2 gunships flew past her and turned around. Weiss dove beneath the clouds and flew between cylindrical mountains poking from the lake. The gunship followed her and she cut her sword and
Are you okay?
You okay?
Celtic, remember. Wake up. Wake up.
No! Sorry, I had a dream that I was reading a better fanfic. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
the sudden spike in my pulse was just way too much. The excitement was palpable, man. It was surprising. Anyway,
hey, look at Deaderex.
Yeah, Deaderex, amazing. Should have given her you know what salmon look like during mating season? You should have given her a face like that.
Bro, how in the fuck do you know that? question.
Because nature documentaries exist, motherfucker. That's how I know that.
Anyone who's ever gone fishing would know what salmon during mating season looks like.
Oh yeah, I've gone fishing.
Where's the
Bimbo
suspense? It's
station
dead in a
salmon.
ditch somewhere.
It dies in the. It dies between.
I don't know.
Dead
suspense. Dead suspense implies that there was suspense at all to begin with.
Sorry.
It's rotted by now.
Suspense
There
is
is
at the
a
diner
thing
down the street, looking at its watch, wondering when it's gonna get called in for its scene.
Between the clinical prose and utter lack of stakes, it's
Yeah.
really waiting.
Weiss dove beneath the clouds and flew between cylindrical mountains poking out from the lake. The gunships followed her, and she coated her sword in ice dust before holding it into the water, creating thousands of razor-sharp particles behind her and slowing the enemy gunship down. The engine on one side of the ships froze, and it crashed into the lake. She pulled her griffin up and ran along a rocky cliff, with a third gunship crashing into the mountain. Boulders started to come down the cliff, and Weiss had to dodge them. She tried to get back into the head space where everything seemed natural to her, and she didn't have to think about anything to do perfectly. And wait, what? Okay, 1 minute. What? She tried to get back into the headspace where everything seemed natural to her, and she didn't have to think about anything to do it perfectly. But she couldn't, and was hit by a rock, which pulled her out of the dream.
Oh.
Not again, Weiss said sadly, sitting on Niob's back.
What?
Okay, I can't remember. I know I gave two people Solid Snake's voice, but which one's Batman and which one's Solid Snake?
This one's Batman.
Technically, this one is Batman.
Yeah, this one's Batman.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's Batman. Yeah.
It's a difficult skill to learn, Niob said, but nonetheless, a useful one.
Okay, how about I fight a human opponent now? Weiss asked.
All right, Niob answered. I have one to certainly push you past your limits.
Weiss closed her eyes again and took a deep breath.
Swear to me!
Forgive me, but for some reason, I'm just thinking now that she's being instructed by not Hulk Hogan.
I don't have to train you, but I don't have to save you either.
When she opened her eyes, Weiss found herself in a forest with a woman standing in front of her. She wore an outfit similar to Weiss's snow pea outfit, which Weiss apparently named that properly in this world, and her eyes immediately lit up with white energy emitting from them. Who are you? Weiss asked. I'm you, but stronger. I am the Winter Maiden, her doppelganger answered and began hurling icicles at her. Weiss made several backflips to get away from the attacks, then drew her sword and went on the offense. The Winter Maiden blocked all of the attacks with a force field and blew Weiss away with freezing wind. Just as Weiss was about to get back up, she found herself on Niob's back. Why did you put me up against a maiden? Weiss asked and said. I thought those were fairy tales. Also, why did you bring me back already?
Every legend has a kernel of truth to it, Niob answered. And my apologies, but we will be able to postpone your training. We are approaching Lake Matsu. My sources have discovered that there are Grimm in the area. I will have to take care of business elsewhere now for justice. But I know you can handle these Grimm on your own for justice.
His source is the local travel guide.
The worst part about it is that if you weren't reading along, you wouldn't know that Celtic put for justice.
That's the beauty of these. All right, Weiss said. Nierb flew upwards, and Weiss rolled off of him, summoning a griffin to carry her instead. The phrasing on his back, I'm sorry,
Just
Weiss
on
was
his
riding
back,
Nierb. You have a 17-year-old riding a full-grown man.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm not. This motherfucker is one of the people that decry fixing RWBY for the fucking onsen thing. I am not going to let up about his choice of wording here.
Celtic's in his petty phase.
Oh yes, this is
deservedly so.
certainly. Oh,
Listen, he got a lot of sleep today.
Also, wait, did someone actually make the onsen reference? Did we do that live on stream or something? I can't remember. That was like the joke that started it.
FBI.
I definitely heard. I heard someone say something definite with that. I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway, as Weiss approached Lake Matsu with the floating boulders, she saw several lancers flying around. She was flanked by 2 other griffins, which carried an Armagaigus each. Jesus Christ! As soon as the lancers noticed, she flew upwards, began shooting icicles into the grim while summoning her, engaging them directly. The Lancers had the advantage of the numbers. The Lancers had the advantage of numbers, but Weiss was smarter. Whenever one of her summons was being attacked, she shot at the attacking Grim with an icicle, fireball, or lightning bolt, drawing its attention away from her summons and allowing the armored Gigas to decapitate the enemy. When she couldn't find any new enemy, she landed on a large floating boulder and made the armored Gigas disappear, absorbing some of the aura she used to create them. And then summoned the seer and sent the Grim. Why does she have a seer? Wait, what? When did she get a seer?
That was so out of left field that you just.
Well, you see, she looked deep up the writer's butt and found it.
Why is there a scene here?
Oh.
Yeah, this is set like the year after she was 17. So she would be 18, wouldn't she?
She might be 18 by this point. Still.
Yeah, it's a maybe.
If you're going to hold me to certain criteria, I'll hold you right back.
Cue the American Dad scale meme.
As far as I'm concerned, since it's a maybe, don't do it.
Also, remember she was asleep during all of that, so, you know.
Huh?
Yeah, because that's how she trains. They put her into a dream state.
Yeah, she was asleep while piggybacking.
And that's
how she ended up.
She trained.
Forgetting I was also asleep during this fic.
Cut.
Yeah.
What?
All right, let's just keep going. The armored guy gets disappeared, absorbing some of the aura she had used to create.
Like a Project Alpha
She then summoned a seer and sent her griffins to fly around and look for more enemies. One by one, however, her griffins were defeated, and Weiss looked around only to find a queen lancer shooting its bony barbs at her. One of the projectiles hit her in the head, knocking her out cold and off the boulder. How did she do worse in this fight than in the actual canon of the show?
Wow.
Oh, looks like Neob's training is bullshit. Rip, bozo.
Neob is a performer.
What the fuck is that, Moopa? Is that the little egg child from fucking Smiling Friends?
Hell yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh my
yes,
god,
it
what
is.
the fuck is this creature?
Have a wonderful day. No.
Oh my god.
Oh Christ. Cyrano was sitting in
Look at this.
that fucking restaurant they go to. So you don't know what? Here's how I do it. Oh god, I love Smiling Friends. I can't wait for season 3. Anyway, Cyrano was sitting in the lake at the bottom of Mistral, looking at her in the lake at the bottom of Mistral. There are several questions that you have just raised.
How did she get there?
It means the large body of water in the middle of the land.
Like, are we talking at the bottom?
It implies that she's just gone all the way to the southernmost point and found a lake.
Okay, so I am presuming, I think, it's the lake that is beneath Mistral, the city.
Yes, that's.
But that's not very clear because Mistral is also the larger kingdom, so it could be the one that is at the lowest point of the kingdom, elevation-wise, the one that is most south of it, or I guess Lake Matsu would count? I don't know.
The big circular one?
How deep is this lake?
It's lake
I
will
don't
give
a meter.
A Cyrana makes wherever she goes.
Well, you see, it used to be a meter before she got in it. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Look, I need to make my own entertainment with this fucking fic, okay? I hope that's fair.
We're not judging.
Using the White Queen virus, the original and superior versions of the Black Queen virus, she took control of Leonardo's desk and sent a message to Arthur asking him to come to where she was. Wow.
What?
I didn't realize that Serena needed to measure.
She did know. She hacked his desk. She has a better version of the Black Queen, the White Queen, which, by the way, Serena, racist. And she's contacting Arthur.
That's not how viruses work at all.
And I didn't know Sirena was an Emma Frost main.
Wait, also wait a second. The original version? I'm sorry.
Yeah, this fic just also decided to just like steam over one.
But so you are responsible for the code that made.
We already discovered this earlier. They were the ones that created the Queen virus. Apparently, it was White Queen, and then it became Black Queen once Watts got his hands on it.
Continue on. I'm sorry.
Hold up. That implies that they let the villains steal it.
No, they I think they acknowledged they allowed Beacon to fall.
It was a tactical thing, I think.
Yeah, it was a tactical sacrifice.
It was a calculated decision, but boy, howdy, do I suck at math.
Some of them may have died when they were just sacrificed.
It was a step to the left, and then a step to the right.
Guys.
Okay, anyway, let's go. Leonardo, why can't we just meet in your office? Arthur replied from his bearskin rug with his shirt off. I may have added that part.
I am alt-tabbed, and I fully expected that to be 100% canon.
I was looking for where were you reading that from?
Honestly, with man, I would not doubt it.
Because Sirena is here. Sirena answered in third person for some reason, pretending to be Leonardo. She may see us, and then we're both dead. I'm sorry, are you impersonating Leonardo?
She's catfishing.
Oh no, she's catfishing. She is a catfish!
Catfishing in order to murder, I presume.
She's a catfish, Faunus, this entire time!
No!
I mean, she needs a mustache.
Aren't you exaggerating? Arthur asked. Then come to my office, Sirena wrote. I thought she called. Oh, she sent a message. So it was text. It's over text. Okay. Arthur was quiet for a moment. I'll meet you by the lake in 5 minutes, which is convenient because you're already there. He wrote. Sirena pulled her scroll away and waited. 5 minutes later, Arthur was standing on the path next to the lake, looking around and trying to find Leonardo. Sirena created a grappling hook out of ice from her right sleeve, and before anyone knew what was happening, or that it was happening in the first place, Arthur was underwater. She pressed him against the ground, holding his right arm like a police officer would hold a suspect or criminal, and increased her water resistance. He can't breathe! He can't breathe!
What the fuck?
He's already dead!
This fanfic author just decided to, like...
Yo, police brutality, let's go.
Yeah, no, not just that.
Initiated!
It's called a fucking armbar, dude! You can look at these information is readily available online.
Nah, police brutality.
Nah, someone's a striker main in Mortal Kombat.
So would you say this is a potentially like without reading ahead, is this what looks to be a even more unceremonious death in canon, or about as?
I don't know if he dies here. I'm presuming he actually doesn't, because this writer is allergic to having the villains die. They just want them to be around to be embarrassed. She pressed him against the ground, holding his right arm like a police officer would hold a suspect or criminal, and increased her water resistance. Arthur struggled and tried getting up, but not even the strongest person on Remnant could have moved Sirena in this situation. After the last bubbles escaped Arthur's mouth and nose, Sirena took his scroll and gloves, put them in her pockets, and drew her scepter. Using ice goo, the goo returns! She ice blade and oh shit! Okay, she is just going straight for the fucking
so she did just kill him.
decapitate Arthur, then cut off his arms and legs, then let the blade disappear and extend her weapon to its trident form. Within 2 seconds, she stabbed him 37 times in the chest and let his bleeding corpse drift away into a stream, which carried the body to Lake Matsu and then the ocean. Making her way through Mistral, Sirena pulled out Arthur's scroll and sent a message to Leonardo.
He's dead! What did I say about the flashbang? I told you it was gonna happen.
Oh, what the? You already
That was unnecessary. That would be considered like an emotional motivated murder.
Like
okay, Twilight.
I don't know how to describe it, but like this goes beyond malicious intent.
This is a war crime. This is a war crime, unironically.
I was about to point out the fucking reference to why are you referencing llamas with hats and equating your main character, your special snowflake, with a sociopathic llama with headgear?
Oh my!
The llama was misunderstood. All right.
May I repose my earlier question? Is this a worse or more unceremonious death than what he got in canon?
This is so much worse.
Watts
also, I'm pretty
got
sure
his
Conquest
moments.
from Invincible would be proud.
Watts got his moments in volume 7 and 8. All right, Watts is probably one of the best written villains in the show. This is downright dirty to him.
I can agree to that. I can agree to
Some
diabolical moments even before he was fully introduced.
Bro existed just to get shat on in the terms of the writer, which that's unique.
Okay, I swear to God, if Sirena took a picture of the carnage and like sent it to Leonardo, then
Might I also raise another
We're
concern
getting into
here.
killing joke territory.
You've now polluted the fucking water source with a corpse. They probably have water purification. I presume they do, but still.
Apparently the corpse ended up in the ocean, but it's still in the water.
I don't.
Who's to say where limbs went?
Mufa, I have once again been harmed by this fic. It has killed off another DILF lover of mine. I must go.
This was brutality at its like.
It's
This
awful.
is the most
This is
brutal that
so
it's had
bad.
of death.
All right, hey, Conquest
like-
from Invincible would be so proud.
Whoever's like constantly touching their nose and sniffing, can you do that muted?
About that?
Everyone's turning
Someone's
into
muted.
Darth Vader.
Right on
I'm so
cue.
confused.
Anyway, Yang was in her dragon form. I think if you remember, you have that. Flying towards Raven's camp to get her help in reaching RWBY when you could just fly to Mistral. You know, anyway. In the distance, her incredibly fine-tuned predatory eyes spotted lightnings, fire, and icicles. What is going on over there? She thought and increased her pace. She shot through the air at breakneck speed, reaching Lake Matsu just in time to see Weiss and her weapon falling towards the water. She caught her in the saddle of her back and exhaled black smoke from her nostrils, preventing the Queen Lancer from following them. Oh, natural smoke screen, got it. In the corner of her eye, she saw Weiss's weapon fall into the water. She's gonna hate me for this, Yang thought. Then again, weapons don't have to breathe, no matter what RWBY says, so I can just get it back later. She landed near the lake, walked into the surrounding forest a little, and shook Weiss off her back. She then went to grab a tree, carved it up a little to get wood for a campfire, and used her claws and stone to create sparks. Lighting the fire. Huh? You're a dragon.
Just breathe.
Just like give a huff. Just She turned the tree around and laid Weiss down on the intact and moss-covered bark. Okay. Okay, how do I do this now, Yang thought. I could play the friendly dragon and reveal myself later, but she knows dragons aren't real. Then again, I'm real, and I'm a dragon, so who knows? I've got to ask Raven about this later. Why?
What?
Maybe not in front of people to avoid arousing suspicion and stuff. Maybe in private. Then again, I
Is
really
she
don't.
assuming that her dragon half comes from Raven?
Oh no.
But it comes from Ty.
So I'll be 100%
No,
honest.
remember what this author said? Red eyes means base thing, Arianthrope or whatever they called it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
So apparently,
I forgot.
Lightning, goddamn it.
The disappointment.
Somehow.
No. You massacred my boy.
Rip Bozo. Rip Bozo. We are Sirena pilled here.
Then again, I really
just
don't want
wanted
to
him
be
dead
alone
so
with
that
her.
you wouldn't be abused by the fake, okay?
She transformed back, parked her bike behind the trunk of Weiss was lying on because she had that the entire time apparently, and transformed into her dragon form again. Yang then laid down on a nearby boulder and waited for Weiss to wake up. Talia was sitting in Raven's camp, looking at a device she had built. At a hexagonal base with a steel beam on each corner holding a large sphere in place. Talia pushed in the panel on the sphere, opening it, and used her tail on and left hand to handle tools while holding her scroll in her right hand and looking at where everything else was inside the sphere. Raven walked up to her. "Are you done anytime soon?" Raven asked. "What are you even doing there?" "No, I'm not," Talia answered with her more scientific tone. "Also, I'm working on emulating natural ethereal wave frequencies to create artificial entangled." Raven groaned, cutting her off, and walked away. "Just get it done as soon as possible," Raven said, and disappeared into her tent. Talia continued working on her device, completely ignoring the weird looks she got from the bandits around her.
Why are you building science stuff in a bandit camp? This does not seem like a suitable place for academia.
Thank you.
Why did Raven just let her continue? Why didn't she just say, "No, get out"?
I'll take your shit, pack it, and leave.
Weiss woke up and felt her head pounding. She groaned, looked around, and noticed that she was in a camp of sorts and was lying on a log. The moss had stained her clothes in faint green, and somehow smoke had tainted her skin and hair as well. She tried to sit up, but slipped off the log and landed in the dirt, further staining her clothes, skin, and hair. She got up, dusted herself off as best she could, and looked around, but then tripped and fell down and stained her clothes, skin, and hair even more. And then she got up and tripped again and stained her clothes, hair, and... Sorry. Okay, where am I and how am I still alive? Weiss thought. She walked around a boulder and stopped when she saw a large reptile seemingly resting there. The golden-scaled creature opened one of its red eyes and looked at her, then got up. The creature, very obviously a dragon based on its spread wings and all, looked down at her. Weiss doubled backwards, trying to make sense of the situation, when she bumped into something and looked behind herself. Wait, Bumblebee, Weiss thought. What is Yang's bike doing here? When she looked back at the dragon, she saw her teammate standing in front of her with brand new prosthetic arm and a mischievous grin.
Wait. Didn't she abandon the bike to go dragon form?
Apparently not.
No,
Yeah.
apparently she just carried it on her back.
Does the bike fuse into her?
Yes. She
That
had
would
little
have been
wheels
more
on her belly.
interesting.
Like that bike Pokemon.
She's one of those like little wind-up toys you can get in like kids meals at McDonald's, where like it's like the dragon but it's little wheels on the bottom so you can roll it back and zoom it away. Wait, Yang? Weiss asked, and Yang hugged her. I miss you, Yang said. Weiss slowly hugged her back. I missed you too, Weiss said, 1,000 thoughts running through Weiss's head at that moment, but she just focused on being happy that Yang was all right. And this, I believe, is where we tag out.
Yep.
I can rest.
Sirena and Ruby were sitting on Ruby's bed, talking about the Silver Eyes. Crow was still getting something to drink, and Ren, Nora, and John were outside in training. Our powers do more than just petrify Grimm, Sirena said and explained. For example, instead of just relying on your own sorrow, you can tap into that of others to feel your powers. You can also locate those experiencing great pain that way. Wait, really? Ruby asked and said, That's great. I can find people and help them. Exactly, Sirena said. Furthermore, those who have lost hope, who are trapped in sorrow and despair, will be drawn towards you and look for you for guidance.
Oh no.
Meaning what now? Ruby asked, tilting her head a little. Quite simple, Serena answered. It means that those who have lost something will follow you. Take Jean, Ren, and Nora, for example. After Beacon fell, they came to you for guidance. Oh my god. You are not doing this.
Please don't. Please.
Sorry, I was giving Io the horny bonk in chat. What's happening?
Serena is basically saying that Silver Eyes have like an empathy magnet to them that basically means that all of Ruby's friends are only her friends because they're drawn to her because they're missing something in their lives.
Oh my god, it's literally...
Okay, so is the author going to actually use this for drama that it would be otherwise to make Ruby doubt her friendships? Or is this some weird excuse just to explain how it was these 3 other characters that came together to join her team?
Ding,
No,
ding,
she
ding,
was-
ding, you have a winner.
Yeah, she was using them as an example. She's basically, I guess this would be some like explanation about why Ruby will become a messiah figure later on.
Oh,
I can't believe a fucking Persona Fate fanfic touched on this more than this will.
Also, Ravenwood, they're not useless yet. They're not wet.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
That's an in-joke.
Yeah, that's... Watch
Lightning,
Kaelus's reviews.
Jesus Christ. Yang Don.
Yeah.
Amazing lightning.
The correct color
So-
just shinier.
Unironically, Lightning, do your eyes just like glow white, and do you just like summon the power of the meme gods?
I
before
was going to say his eyes glow white, and you just hear very quietly in the distance, dun 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 dun, and just like the wind swirling, everything in the room flying everywhere. He's rising slowly,
And then he hits
and
enter
just, like,
on
a
his
lightning bolt
keyboard.
strikes his desk, and just the meme appears.
Here you go. This is what you're describing.
It's actually really bad for Lightning. He had to not quite dead now. I was going to make the joke that Lightning had to like put rubber around his setup so that whenever the lightning strikes and the memes come to him through the godly powers, he has to like stop it from destroying his entire
Okay,
setup.
I was gonna say he has rubber around his setup, but it's not because of the lightning. All right, it's for other reasons. Do you see how many Jane Doe gifts he has at the ready? All right, that's the tame stuff.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Continuing on.
Thank you.
Let's see here.
The toes! I just realized the toes!
No!
Stop!
Your silver eyes told you that you would lead them to a brighter future, so they followed your lead. I'm not so sure I like this, Ruby said and asked. I mean, isn't that taking their free will or something?
God, I had the exact same thought!
We were given these powers by the god of light, Serena said. I do not believe it is either of our places to argue against his decisions.
I didn't realize Serena was such a zealot for the god of light.
Yeah.
At least we know she's right.
I'm sorry, if I was told that there was a god that took away my free will, I was going to be very fucking pissed. I'm going to be very angry. And you know, it may motivate me as a JRPG character to want to destroy that god. Just putting that out there. And as the god dies, I will ask, was this part of your fucking plan?
I mean, that's the end. That is the end goal of every JRPG.
That is how Raymond becomes a Final Fantasy character. Doesn't mean I have to like it, Ruby said to herself. Regardless, Serena said. These powers exist for a reason. If you keep up your training, you can be the leader everyone sees in you. Can we focus on other abilities first? Ruby asked. Like, what about sensing other people's sadness? Can you do that too? Yes, we can focus on other things first, Serena said. I can only sense fear in others. That is how I found you and the others, actually. Really? Ruby said and asked. But I wasn't scared. Well, not a lot. Yes, really, Serena answered. And I actually sense crow's fear. So how can I sense other people's sorrow? RWBY asked. Focus on the world around you, Serena answered.
You must know exactly how many people you've killed during your adventure.
Yeah.
I killed 32.
Sorry, Melga reference.
Feel the pain of those closest to you. RWBY closed her eyes and took a deep breath, following the instructions as best she could. After a few minutes, a faint yellow hue took over the blackness. It's turning yellow, RWBY said and asked. Is that normal?
Yes. That's just the piss aura. Don't worry about it.
They are peeing everywhere. Ignore it.
Just the wildest fucking side effect.
Sirena answered. Yellow is the color of sorrow. RWBY focused on the yellow hue and on the feeling it gave her and tried to get a better sense of it. The feeling faded again, and RWBY opened her eyes and let out a sad sigh.
Yellow.
I would feel sad too if I was in the piss dimension.
Yellow is the color of sorrow. I'm just over here going like, man, yellow lanterns, you're pissed.
Like what? How in what culture would it be said that yellow is the color of sorrow and not something like blue? Like yellow is usually associated with happiness.
So why I am unironically looking through my like mythological notes to see if there's anything related to yellow and sorrow because
God damn it,
like
Raven! I was about to say I thought yellows were indicative of saber-toothed tigers.
I mean, yeah, but
and racism, unintentional, but racism.
I mean,
If you guys don't know, the first Yellow Ranger from Power Rangers was Asian. That was not, and the first Black Ranger from Power Rangers was black. So
wasn't that unintentional?
That was completely unintentional, and they fixed that in future casting. But it was still something that they were like, "Oh, we were 6 episodes in. We can't fix this."
How did we miss this? I don't know. We're too far deep.
That must have been painful for the
Big
higher-ups
fucking
to realize.
oopsie.
They were like,
I know that in ancient Egypt, black was considered the color of life and good luck.
Yeah, like black and white can have various different connotations depending on culture. Never heard of yellow though, being different. Anyway, moving on. Yes, it is, Sirena answered. But trust me, it will get better the more that you train your powers. Suddenly, they heard a commotion in the living room and went to see what was going on.
Train in the piss dimension and it will no longer dampen your mood.
I'm going to quickly ask, are they introducing Oscar?
No idea. Blake was sitting on a tree branch looking around the forest. Ilya was hiding in the leaves elsewhere, her skin as black as the night.
So
This is Ilya, right?
I'm gonna ask it, and everyone's
Also,
thinking
last
it,
time I checked,
but
the night sky was actually dark
since
blue, not black.
Ilya can change her skin to black, does she get the pass?
She probably.
Get
Give it to her.
the fuck out.
Sorry, I'll leave.
I don't want to know the answer.
Sun was hanging from another tree branch, holding... Shush your faces. Sun was hanging from another tree branch, holding onto it with his tail. Argent was trying to sneak up on them as part of their nightly training session. Blake felt like a wildcat on the hunt, waiting for prey to show itself. Her cat ears twitched and turned, pricking up all kinds of noises from all directions. She felt a shiver run down her spine and turned around, grabbed Argent's right arm, and threw him to the ground. Blake drew her weapon and turned it into its gun form. Argent shot a volley of bullets at her, but she used her semblance to dodge the attack. Sun came running, trying to hit Argent with his staff. Argent blocked the weapon with his steel claws and kicked Sun away. Ilya swung around a tree and tried to drop kick Argent, but he jumped over and punched her to the ground. Blake dashed towards him, using a clone to propel herself forward. Argent tried to hit her with the claws on his right weapon. Blake suddenly found herself back to where she had left her initial clone, with the clone now taking the hit for her.
Really digging
Wow.
this monotone action.
It's just
The monotone reading helps.
God, it's such a there's nothing happening. It's literally just all choreography. There's no interesting like inner thought. There's no commentary on it. We're not getting any of the observation from the characters unless it's something vitally important to how they behave. Like there's no
There should be some sort of thought being like, oh no, I need to dodge this next attack or I'm boned.
something like
I
that.
wasn't
Like
standing up.
the
I
character.
think
Oh my God! Which lightning, lightning, lightning.
What? What he do? What he do?
I don't get it.
That's is he former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau now? Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, former
Yes,
Prime
yes.
Minister Justin Trudeau, who was infamous because several times he has done blackface, and we're not talking like just doing it for like a costume or something. We're talking full on performative blackface. He's got an interesting history with it. We'll just say it that.
Also,
yeah.
Guys,
I'll just say that between this writing and Twilight's excellent narration, this has got me on the edge of my seat if I was actually sitting down and not standing up.
Oh.
remember everybody?
I'm just staying on tippy toes.
Wait, what? Blake asked. Nice trick, Sun said. How did you do that? Ilya asked. I don't know, honestly, Blake answered. I never did this before. Your semblance is evolving, Argent answered. Really?
Dun, dun,
Blake
dun,
asked.
dun, 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 dun.
Yes. Argent answered. The way I see it, your semblance is a reflection of how cats can survive things other animals couldn't. What?
Like
Okay,
what?
we're gonna take this thing that was completely divested from her animal trait, which, by the way, makes complete sense in the setting and what they were trying to say about the fucking faunus. And we're gonna make it about you being a faunus. Holy shit, this guy is fucking awful at, like, race allegory.
How can you be worse at race allegory than RWBY?
Easy, he's a fan of RWBY.
But wait, hold on now. What are we?
Not fans of RWBY, hopefully. If you are, shame.
Well, I guess
no.
technically speaking, I am a fan, but I'm also very critical.
Yeah,
But still
same.
kind of
Still
fan.
shame, just small shame.
No. Well,
Some dishonor on you, sir.
You might be critical.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your very tiny cow.
I now want a very tiny Highlands cow.
Twilight,
A very
Twilight, are you
tiny. That would
proud
be
of yourself
adorable.
going for the cow?
They're
Are you
tiny.
proud of yourself?
Are you
Yes.
also are you also dry, Raymond? Are you dry critical?
Am I dry critical? Oh, dude. I mean, why do you have to?
What does that even mean?
No, you need to understand. I'm solid critical. I got all the recessive genes, and he got all the dominant one.
I was about to make the joke. God damn it, man.
And I know nothing is solidus? I don't know.
No.
Oh my god,
No, it's
Red
this.
Bug
It's this. I gave my entire body for my country, for my memes, for my fanfics.
Sort of great fun ever exist.
Wait.
Oh my god.
No, okay. So it's dry critical, moist critical, and damp critical.
I fucking hate damp.
Oh yeah, that's good, critical.
I hate all those names.
For the record, Twilight, Metal Gear is the science fiction equivalent to Kingdom Hearts, if that makes any sense to you.
Yes.
That is the most succinct way I've ever heard it said.
Alright, I am definitely writing that down.
A reminder that my roommate, for the first YouTube video he would ever do, would be him in front of a green screen. He would sit down, open up a bottle of whiskey, drink the entire thing, and then drop it and say, "What is a nation?" and then begin his history of Metal Gear.
That is a bold
solid open.
Well, I guess I'd say, how much fun you're having, and how long has it been since we've progressed the fic?
A while. I'm going to shut you all up now. I'm going to continue on.
Okay.
Yes.
The way I see it, your semblance is a reflection of how cats can survive things other animals can't. That's where the idea of cats having 9 lives comes from. Your semblance lets you survive things others couldn't, or at least not as well as you. I never thought about it like that,
Almost
Blake
because
said.
it's like mentally deficient to actually think about it that way, but whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Blake, put Gamble Shroud in gun form and like cap this son of a bitch.
You probably did, though, Argent said. Otherwise, you wouldn't have developed your semblance further. Maybe for a moment, some part of you realized that your semblance is really doing, and that's how you unlocked this new ability. My mother once told me that faunas sometimes have semblances that tie into animals that they share a trait with. Understanding a semblance's meaning and purpose helps a lot when one wants to improve their semblance.
Bro literally out here saying, you might not have noticed it, but your brain did.
And what about you? Son asked. My semblance turns me into mist, Argent answered. It represents how snakes can sneak up on their unsuspecting prey without being noticed.
You know, like 90% of the animal fucking kingdom that have to be ambush predators.
Yeah, holy shit.
It's literally just saying, I'm an ambush predator.
Until it's too late. Of course, with good enough reflexes, you can still defend against my attacks, but you'd need to be a much better fighter than the average huntsman to effectively pull that off.
Well, what if I get like the animal traits of a huntsman spider?
Oh.
Checkmate,
Also, I
Argent.
must ask, like, granted, so there's
You
still
mean-
like going.
Okay, let's just continue on.
You mean like what I did back there? Blake asked, and Argent chuckled. Sort of, but that was just training, Argent answered. If it was a real fight, your aura wouldn't even react fast enough to block my attacks.
What?
Someone is slowly being dragged through like sand or gravel or something. And look, I understand you're being kidnapped or killed, but if you could please do that quietly, it would be appreciated.
Really killing the vibe in here, you know.
For the record, it's Side the Pikachu.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute him.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, where was I? Wait, what? Ilya asked. That's possible? Yes, actually, Argent answered. Technically, anyone can learn it. It's just very difficult and risky. The air friction causes a lot of heat, so you can't handle that. It's most certainly game over for you as well. Reptile-based faunas can absorb the heat to recharge their aura, so I'm fine. But one of my teammates, Serena Blue, has to find another way to handle that heat. So I can do that too? Ilya asked, looking at her hands. Of course, Argent answered. I have multiple cousins who are also chameleon faunas, and all of them can do it without a problem.
I also hate them with a burning passion.
Yeah.
I tend to not like them. They try to eat my prey.
I drowned most of them, beheaded them, and then cut their body into pieces before stabbing them 37 times. It's a tradition that's caught on to my team.
Can you show us how that works? Sun asked. And all 3 younger faunas looked at him with excited and curious looks. There isn't much to see, Argent answered. At least not at your level of perception, but sure, why not? He walked over to a tree, standing an arm's length away from it. And a small portion of it suddenly exploded. Ilya felt a powerful shockwave rolling through the ground, and she saw an entire root network before her inner eye. That was awesome, Sun called out after a moment of silence, then asked, but why'd you kick it? Wait, you saw that? Blake asked, obviously surprised by this revelation. Kind of, Sun answered. It was like a single frame of his right foot making contact with the... This isn't animation. What do you mean a frame?
This isn't a fighting game, my bruh.
God,
It was like
block low.
Why did you just say it was like half a second?
Sun out here like, man, dude, we're all moving at 60 frames and you're moving at 120.
I just want to.
Your semblance is negative on block. You gotta fix that.
I want to imagine Sun just like starts speaking in like gaming terms, and everyone starts looking at him and starts going, "Why did you ruin the role
Honestly,
play,
you
bro?"
can write a character like that. You can do that, but like that's not Sun.
No, Deadpool exists.
It's Shigaraki. Next.
Yeah,
question.
Shigaraki. It's a perfect example.
Yeah.
He talks in gamer lingo because he's toxic.
No idea where that came from, to be honest. That's your aura, Argent answered and pulled out his scroll. See? Your aura dropped by 21% because it captured an image for you. You'll get better at it. And the aura
Your aura takes snapshots. What the fuck? You're into camera now?
Hang on a sec.
Congrats.
It took me, like, I was just reading to start reading again, and it took me, my brain, like, a second to lag behind and process that. Holy shit.
That is hilariously stupid.
Congratulations. You can take snapshots without using a phone, but you will slowly die.
Supposedly, aura and semblances aren't magic, but whatever. I didn't.
You'll get better at it, and the aura usage will become negligible quickly. You'll also be able to manifest your aura in different forms, aside from the ways every faunus can use it eventually. Meaning? Sun asked. That last bit, I mean. Like, what can I do with enough training? For starters, Argent answered. My sister can manifest her aura as tiny needles, like the ones used in acupuncture, to affect one's aura flow. If she uses them correctly, she can increase all your physical and mental abilities, but she can also paralyze you in a few hits. Those needles only last a few minutes due to the other person's aura counteracting them. But it's still dangerous to mess with her. Once she gets serious, all hell breaks loose. Some unfortunate survivors even seem to mean that in a literal sense.
What?
Wait a minute. Does she... Wait, she doses them on aura drug.
So if I get stabbed with the magic soul needles, it can make me smarter, stronger, and faster? That is like beyond game breaking.
Summons a portal to hell.
She sounds dangerous, Blake said. I hope Yang's all right. She suddenly felt a small bit of resentment, but couldn't figure out where it came from and just ignored it. Okay. That was a worthless bit of information.
Must have been the wind.
Is this person a bumblebee shipper?
I don't know.
Also, what is she a brocon?
What?
Like, why would she just carry out an order on yours, no questions asked?
That's scary.
Oh, okay. Trust me, she is, Argent answered. My sister is one of the most powerful huntresses I know, and even if I gave her an order, she'll carry it out. She's a mouse faunus, right? Sun asked. So what's her semblance? Yes, she is, Argent answered. Her semblance lets her possess stuff. Basically, her physical body disappears, and her mind takes control of whatever she uses her semblance on.
It's basically, it's reflective of her nature as a rodent to take control of people's bodies.
Please. Please be canon. I need it.
Lightning!
Cannon. No one can stop us.
Can't stop, won't stop. The screenshot will be uploaded.
Let me try that. Actually, her power makes it become temporarily invulnerable. She calls it the Iron Mouse semblance.
Oh no!
She often uses it on her own aura, effectively becoming a ghost of sorts. How?
That doesn't make any sense. That just means you could, like, what, telepath your... Maybe you could carry yourself? How does that work?
That is some plugging your...
That's not how the X-Gene works.
Why
That's like
your own body do that? Why?
Guys,
infinite electricity by plugging in your external to itself. that is that. Oh my god,
It's starting to get to you too now.
Yep, now it is.
Oh no, she's been hit with like D9 like psychic damage.
Oh boy.
A D9? Who the fuck uses a D9? Do you have a 9-sided dice?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't think he uses that stuff.
Fucking weirdo.
No, I don't. I was just making shit up.
The psychic damage has already claimed him.
It represents how mice can easily cause a lot of chaos.
What?
So, she causes a lot of trouble at home, Sun asked? Not
oh
just
my
at
god,
home.
that is fucking... Port was right!
Yeah,
you
Port
didn't
was
listen,
right.
but apparently just mice faunus are known for causing havoc.
She's literally...
They are gremlins of the highest order.
She is literally like Ratatouille on demon timing.
God.
Look at him.
Not just at home, Argent answered. In fact, almost never at home, but Blake and Ilya may recall a little something a few years back, where information on future White Fang attacks was leaked to the respective targets, the authorities, and even huntsmen whose combat skill perfectly encountered the skills of those involved in the planned assault. Wait, that was one person? Blake asked. That safety leak caused almost 1/10 of our members to be arrested, with another 3% being excluded and hunted as traitors, Ilya said. People could have died because of this, Blake said. Who do you think protected those people? Argent asked with a smirk that already answered his question.
What?
Also, like, who on earth describes, like, any event for the organization like, oh yeah, 10% of our organization got arrested?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know the size of the White Fang. So it's like, okay, was that like 10 people? Was it
Anywhere
100?
between one person to 50.
No,
Because you're
it's a
using
difference between,
percentage
you know...
of an unknown number.
I was going to say, it could literally range from anywhere from 1 to several thousand to potentially millions, depending.
Yeah.
Literally the worst way of doing it.
So, about what I'll be able to do, Sun said hesitantly, breaking the minor tension of the situation. Right, about that, Argent said and explained. You'll be able to perceive things more clearly and your aura will help with other memory and motor skills. And of course, you'll be able to use your semblance more effectively. And finally, you'll be able to manifest your aura as a physical object, in addition to what the three of you will be able to do, because you're a monkey.
Wait, what?
Excuse you?
She added that. She added that last.
Yeah, I added that because like he's basically doing the aura with racisms.
Sky Satcher says, "Where were you when Tuxin died, you Slytherin?"
Bruh.
So he didn't really give Sun anything new. Last time he said Sun will be able to perceive things too, like base camps and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Blake asked. Can we manifest our auras as physical objects as well? Not quite, Argent answered, but you'll be able to make it become visible with enough training. Watch. He closed his eyes and his aura became visible as silver scales all over his body and a pair of fangs protruding from his mouth. Blake, Ilya, and Sun felt an overwhelming power wash over them, and all of them knew that if he decided to kill them, they would be dead before one of them saw him move. Wow, amazing.
Innovation.
I would love if he just bites his chin with his fucking fangs. Just like, ow, oh, they curve too much. Ow, ow.
Have you ever seen someone?
Oh wait, these have poison.
Oh my god, this Wish.com stand is so annoying.
No, guys, have you ever seen that stupid meme of like this blade is so like it's coated with deadly poison? He licks it, and there's like I should not have licked it, and he dies.
It's a great.
I'm just imagining in that moment of intense power, they realized he had an 8-pack.
Argent sensed 3 White Fang members closing in on their position, with their sniper rifles strapped on their backs. In a thousandth of a second, he turned around, fired 3 bullets, hit the bullets with his palms, and resumed his original position. Blake, Ilya, and Sun only saw the bullets punching through the trees and hitting the assassins, completely depleting their auras and shattering their rifles. Argent's aura faded again, and he opened his eyes.
Oh, so
you know what amazes me is that I think even Iza would recognize that this is too fucking much.
Yes.
I'm fairly certain the bullets.
That's very telling, isn't it?
It is. That was incredible, Blake said in disbelief. Ilya shivered, having sensed the vibrations of the entire event. Sun blinked a few times in confusion, but not sure exactly what had happened. Our enemy, Salem, has likely infiltrated the White Fang.
Our enemy? I can't remember. I completely. I was like, I gotta get this joke out there. I can't remember the fucking details, but I gotta get it out there. Quick,
Entia,
I know nothing. Sorry, Entia.
Our enemy.
Entia, our enemy.
Man, it's been way too long since we've had a nice Balinor joke because we haven't touched Balinor in like years.
We touched at the start of the year. I thought that was the last time we did it.
Yeah, no, I was being. Never mind. I was making a joke.
Felt like years.
It's been a very long time, is what I was saying.
Yes.
Yes.
We have to be careful to not let our guard down at any moment. But how did you do that? Blake asked. I mean, how did you make your aura become visible like that?
I turned on the flashlight.
With training, Argent answered and explained. We are constantly giving off aura since our bodies aren't made to contain it. It moves to areas with lower concentration and becomes ambient aura. I combine my aura with my body, effectively creating an external source that I can tap into at will. I am still giving off aura just at a much higher rate, as my aura regenerates much faster. Faunus based on omnivores, such as mice or monkeys, have at least trouble unlocking this ability, and can use their aura for more ways than other faunus. But now, more combat training. You 3 against me.
Twy, is this going to be on the test later? I can't keep up with the notes.
I can't either. At this point, I'm just saying, like, I'll just accept whatever you throw at me as happening.
It's been fucking 6 chapters, and they're still just doing exposition and all of the different things that Aura can do.
More random bullshit.
Suddenly, Blake heard something in the distance. Sorry, but we have other problems we need to deal with first, she said and ran off towards the shore. Argent, Ilya, and Sun followed her.
And I'm pretty sure that's where we cut off for the night.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh,
Yay.
Christ. Oh,
Jesus.
God damn. That was the drainiest chapter we've had yet.
Right?
Honestly, yeah.
That was awful. Yeah, no.
So let's see where our voting got us.
Started affecting both.
Oh, Christ.
Oh.
No.
What is it?
Fuck.
Oh, no.
What is it?
It should have been. It should have been.
It's Shadow the Conqueror.
Oh no! Yes! No, stop! I know. No, this is not a celebratory thing. I went through this hell once.
I have
read this book. I have bought this book. I have made notes on this book. And I will...
All right, you know what? I know nothing. You know what? How's this? You want to be third reader for this?
Sure. I'm down.
Okay, good. I hope you're all excited because after we finish this chapter next week, the week after that, we'll be starting Shadow of the Conqueror by Shad Brooks.
You can't read from whatever Celtic puts up on here. You have to read from the book you mistakenly bought for yourself.
Oh, no.
Shadow of the Conqueror.
I see Isa's celebrating in chat.
I left.
I don't like to shame people, but he's a shame. Do not celebrate.
Well, he's celebrating because he gets to see us tortured, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that Isa is very excited for us to rip on this book.
100%.
I know nothing about this book, so I don't think I'll be showing up for these ones. Well, that's the thing is we're all starting the book together, so you get it on the ground floor. So go ahead and join us. Derex, you don't need to know. All you need to know about a Shad is that he's pro AI art. Wow. That's your motivation.
Oh yeah, baby.
That's your motivation. This is written by a man that's pro AI art and believes.
For clarify, he did not use AI when writing this.
He has not. No.
It sounds like it was, though. That's how bad his writing is.
Oh, you have no idea.
No spoilers. It's apparently going to get bad.
I'm so happy.
Well,
no idea.
Story
So now that the voting has condemned us to more eternal torture, does that mean we end here?
Yeah, this we're wrapping up. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all had a lovely time with the RWBY Project Alpha. Remember, we wrap this up next week. So then we'll be saying goodbye to all of our lovely original characters that are so well written and developed and so well balanced in the universe.
We just gotta take him out to the barn, you know?
I can hear your...
Just gonna talk
There's
There's
a wonderful farm
in the
upstate.
story that do exist, really, for real.
I think they brought a nuke in just for them.
So there's only one chapter. There's only one session. Technically speaking, we're in the middle of chapter 6, but we'll be back.
Yeah.
I forgot to post this one earlier.
Where the fuck are we now? Yes.
We'll be leaving you there. Don't worry. You won't die. Just ignore the black, red things in the corner.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to tune in for the Team Jack streams on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Hopefully I'm, back up to full power by then, but we'll see. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.
Good night, everybody.